Now, one of the sad realities associated with flooding is that the devastating impact may linger even after water level recedes. That's the case in Mokwa, Niger State, where the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, is warning of possible outbreak of waterborne diseases due to contaminated water. The agency also says there might be a shortage of food and shelter if the number of displaced persons goes up. In response to the crisis, NEMA says it has deployed mobile intensive care ambulances, water treatment units and rapid response teams to the affected areas. Mayor, the warning by NEMA about the threat of waterborne disease outbreak. I mean, talk to me. How worrisome is this?
Yes, it is worrisome. When it's like that. When you have flood disaster like that, especially that caused a lot of death, like the one that we have in Mokwa, definitely people are subject to waterborne diseases and all that. But what I want to look at basically is that we have to learn from it. But we seems not to learn from things that have happened. Things like this have happened time and time again. And that is why people have to appreciate what they are doing in Lagos State. The Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources kept insisting that people cannot build on drainage pathway or they cannot do certain things. And they will now maybe pull down some houses and limit something. And people will think as if, they are not compassionate or the government is not compassionate enough. No, because when the problems like this come, it affects so many people.
And they'll still blame the government.
And it causes a lot of death. Because water must always find its level.
Sure.
So if you don't channel how the water is going to leave the city properly, it will cause havoc. And that is what happened in Mokwa. It's just because the water there are no proper channels for the water to be able to go. And that was flooded because of rain and all that.
The decision was not made, to clear.
That's what I'm saying, because sometimes in some places, that's why I said we have to appreciate more what is being done in Lagos. It may look as if, the government or the commissioner, they're trying to pull down houses and all that. But the argument is that, look, if we don't do this, it will affect everybody. Because you will see some people, they will deliberately build houses on channels and drainage things, and they will not bother. And when you stop that water, the water will have to find its level. It has to go somewhere. And then when it causes flooding, and for example, in Mokwa, I've lost over 200 people. That's sad. Unacceptable.
Very, very
That's
sad.
Unacceptable.
I mean, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, also arrived in Mokwa earlier today. But talk to me, the significance of that visit.
Well, it is natural for government to empathize with the people. As he has gone there, he also has to enlighten the people on God. The problem with us in this country is that we prefer to make sacrifice rather than to obey. And the scripture says that it is better to obey than to sacrifice. The sacrifice may not be accepted, but especially when it is a conscious sin. I don't know why people should go out of their way to begin to build on road channels. As far as I'm concerned, any house that is demolished because you are built on channels should be punished, apart from the fact that you are going to lose your property. And I like what Lagos State Commissioner for Environment is doing. The minds all over the place.
Tokumba is my favorite person because
before now, we have to appreciate one thing. NIMET has been warning all Nigerians since the beginning of this year
that 30 states,
36 states in Nigeria are going to be serious flooding. So NEMA is just doing what they are doing as a response to a warning that people refuse to heed. So people refuse to heed that particular warning, and we are paying the price now. NEMA is just trying to be active. They are not proactive because people disobey. They choose to build on channel areas. And after that 9-month warning, I think we should put certain things in place to mitigate any disaster where it is not possible that is caused by natural. There are some areas like that Mokwa people releasing water, or Republic of Niger releasing water, Cameroon releasing water to Nigeria. So that one should be the job of the NEMA to mitigate whatever is going to happen because they are going to release the water. But for those people who are building on drain channels, who are doing other things, I think they should be punished besides losing their property. They should be punished.
Now there's no guarantee that such a torrential rain will not fall again. Now, what will you recommend to make sure that, the citizens are this time well prepared for it?
Yes, I think it is the duty, the primary duty of government is protection of life and property.
Yes.
And I think the governor of Niger State should learn from this mistake because they are also culpable for what happened. If they have done the needful, yes, it won't be as bad as it is if they have done the needful. So I think they should also look at ways of doing proper drainage channels in the city, in different towns in that place. We have to recognize the fact that there's climate change that is all over the world. If you look at America, every time you will see flood. If you see Europe, the flooding is everywhere because the climate is changing and the volume of water being released is much, much higher than what is expected. So that's a natural phenomenon. There's nothing we can do about that. That's nothing we can do about that. What we need to do is to prepare for it. The state government should prepare for things like that.
Now, NEMA also complained of shortage of food, water, shelter, and we heard that the president approved 2 billion naira for the reconstruction of houses for the victims. But talk to me, what else do you think the government should be doing right now to meet those needs?
Well, I think there must be
and donor agencies as well.
I think there must be a conscious effort on the part of the federal government and all the statistic governments to make sure that people live where it is safe to live instead of spending all this money. Yes, it is natural for government to provide for emergencies like we are having now, but it's also very important that we mitigate such kind of thing. People, government should try as much to educate people to live not to live in certain areas. In the US, UK, hurricane happens in the US almost every how many times in a year. So government should evacuate people from a particular area and take people to a safe place and make laws to make sure that areas that are danger zone, people don't live there, so that we don't spend much of our resources in tackling this crime. It will happen. It is natural. It happens in Sri Lanka or this Asian country. It happens everywhere. We are even very lucky in Nigeria because we have there's a way in which God is a Nigerian.
God knows that we cannot cope. That's why
God knows He cannot
give us that
cope. It has mitigated our own. But I think there must be a conscious effort on the part of government to encourage and educate people not to live in crisis-prone areas.
We have Sadiq calling in from Festac. Sadiq, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Let's talk. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. You're live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Okay. I think we're having network issues. Okay. Now, Mayor, my prayer is that we'll not be having this kind of conversation about this issue of devastation next year. Now, talk to. Are you optimistic?
I don't think that will be the case. What we should say is that we should urge government to be more prepared for things like this. You see, because natural causes, there is nothing you can do about it. And then we've established that because of climate change, it's happening all over the world. It's not only here. It's happening all over the world. So it will happen. It will happen. And government is doing what they are supposed to do. When you provide money, you provide shelter, you provide food, you provide emergency materials for those who have been affected. That is what government needs to do. But moving forward, government should make sure that there are proper drainage channels within major towns and communities. Government should be able to identify, especially when they have been warned, to be able to identify flood-prone areas and have emergency action in place where, when they know that we can experience flood in this area, then they can evacuate people to temporary areas where they will be while the flood could take place. Then they will be able to now find ways of and then move them back.
Absolutely.
Government must be proactive. They must be able to prepare for these emergencies. Instead of the money they are spending now, if they are spending that money and make preparations for the flood, they won't be in this kind of situation.
Now, do you think the visit by the Vice President, will assuage,
No, it's good. That's normally, you see, empathy is very important. When people see their leaders, empathize with them, it does two things. One, they are then forgotten, that they know about the problems and they are making efforts to solve that problem. Again, the Vice President being there is like a hands-on thing. You'll be able to know what the problems are.
Okay.
You'll be able to know the resources that should be deployed.
Okay.
So at the level of government, the vice president, at the level, at his level, he will be able to tell government to say, look, these are the things we need to do.
Absolutely.
This is how we can support NEMA to be able to meet the needs of these people.
Exactly.
Because he saw it firsthand and he could. So that's the significance of the visit.
Absolutely. But are you optimistic that we won't be having this kind of conversation again next year?
Well, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. If we are armed, like you said, we are proactive about it. We won't have it. But Nigeria, the problem is that Nigeria is a country of one day, one problem. So the moment we solve this one, another one will come. Before you know it, another full cycle, 12 months will come again, and we'll continue to face it. There are a lot of dams around, even in the southwest and southeast too. I think the thing is that they have been able to be proactive enough to warn people enough when they release water. Whether you like it or not, Cameroon, when the flood overflows, water to Nigeria.
Exactly.
So we must know that every year, especially any year that is heavy rainfall, we have 3 kinds of rains in Lagos this year, 3 types that have been so much. If it had been some other areas, God knows what would have happened if it were another. That's why I'm still commending the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos State for the boldness and audacity in doing what is.
I mean, Zokuba Wahab is my favorite person because of the way he's always hands-on.
Hard-working commissioners.
Very, 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 very. But let's also look at the response so far. Okay, the response from the federal government, from the state, from NEMA. How will you assess the response so far?
Well, it is predictable that government has to empathize with the people at this particular.
Do you think they've done enough?
Well, you see, when you have emergency, you can never measure the kind of help that government can do because the emergency varies from one to the other, and government has many other things to do. I think what we have to do is to empower the agencies more to do what they are supposed to do, to be proactive, so that it will reduce the impact of that thing when it happens. It will surely happen. Don't let us say it will not happen. Let us empower the agencies to do more and be proactive more than now. To encourage people not to. You see, it is unfortunate that it is poor people in Nigeria that build in places where there is water, there is flood all over the place. Rich people don't build there. So we should encourage people not to endanger their life by building.
But somebody approved it.
Forget about
when it comes to time, when they build on those places, I think somebody from one ministry approved it.
But a lot of people build without approval.
No, you'll be shocked that
in fact, most of those places,
did they get fake approvals?
No, not fake. Most of those places, you could, if they have approvals, they won't demolish those houses. If there are approvals, it just means that what you have done is different from the approval that you got. Some people will extend. They extend their houses. Yes, they will extend their houses to where they are not supposed to be.
All right, we have Apabuene calling in from Auchi. Apabuene, thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want people to say that people should be punished for doing wrong. People should be punished for people. Nigeria should learn how to punish people for doing wrong in anything that they do. Because you are talking about that maybe by next year we will not have this thing. It will even be worse off because they are not being punished. Okay, we are praising the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment or whatsoever now. People, all that state government should learn all those things so that by the time anybody that builds on where he is not supposed to be built, it will be demolished and the person should pay a penalty for it. That is what is causing all those things. The water, you said that the water will always have its course. Water will always have its way. So by the time they are not doing the right thing, the disaster will always remain. Then you will be waiting for government to come and be helping you, to come and be doing all those things for you. That is, your aid is not the best. It should not be the first option.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. There should be consequences for
like
bad behavior.
There should be consequences.
There should be. In rounding of this conversation, your parting thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think governments should. Part of the duty of government is to protect the citizens. So government should have enough courage and political will to do what is right. When people build on channels or do things that are supposed to do, they should be punished for it.
Those who throw debts in drainages.
Yes, in drainages and all that. There must be punishment for bad behavior. And it should be like that across board. It should not just be one state. It should be across board. Then two, government should be proactive But when you are warned that there's going to be flood this year and that so many states will be impacted, it is important for government to prepare and to be proactive about it. It's not only when it happens that you will now be reacting and be spending more money.
And they have funds for this,
and be spending more money.
Fund.
And then, like my colleague said, it's important for us to strengthen NEMA more and other agencies that are first responders so that they can do more than what they are doing now. Yeah.